mulberry. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't need a phone. So anyway, so it was added on torture in a way. You know, I had to get it. Had to get that. I got two. It was Moderna, I think was mine. It's the whole thing. Even the dates were messing me up because it's like I don't want to get a. They assigned me a certain date that was available, and I was like, I don't want to get it on that date because it matches up with someone's birthday, and it was too much for me because there's a whole system whole thing that went on here that involves people's birthdays. You know, I'm kind of in a weird camp where it's like, can they do weird things, and do they use a number system? And I don't want to have any parts of it. So I did get vaccinated, and the theory from other people who say that they're trying to help was that, oh, there's an airplane going incline there and it looks low today over Love Park. It's way down there. Anyway, the theory would be that if you do stuff that's anti-supersonic organic, will that quiet some of the monsters in the sky who've been unleashing the dogs and doing some sort of, you know, weird game? So can we go SPR? Yeah. So it might have. It's hard to tell. You know, I do worry because it's like, in my mind, getting something like that would be poison in the bloodstream. Like, it's hard to explain why I think this way. Other people are, you know, everybody's brainwashed to believe one thing or the other. So if you're in the medical camp, you're like, no, it's actually an antibiotic and it'll do this, that, and the other. But it creates the issue in order to beat out. And what if you have a rare blood type, which I do, O negative blood, and I'm already immune? So we're immune to HIV/AIDS because of a mutated gene. We're a universal blood type, no one else is. So, you know, anyone can receive our blood should they be in an emergency and need a blood transfusion. I have universal blood type, O negative. No other blood type can do that. So anyway, also my birthday's on World AIDS Day, December 1st. I was born first. They named December 1st World AIDS Day, and turns out our blood type is immune to HIV. So people with O negative blood just won't contract HIV. That's a virus that hasn't been overly active in many years, although there are still cases. Now we're on to the latest, you know, which is coronavirus, which is now treated like a flu. You know? Like, oh, I have this, I gotta. And it's like, that's so crazy because it was a death sentence. In 2020, if you got coronavirus, you were like 90% dead, for sure, facing death. Now it's just like every drug addict on the street says, oh, I tested positive for coronavirus. Sociology, huh? So I was, you know, upset about having to get the vaccination, but again, the vaccinations along with food that isn't totally perfect. It's almost like having a food issue, even though it's better to be raw vegan foodie green juicer, but we'll let it go. Will it silence people who have been incredibly problematic? And it's hard to explain how they would become problematic. But always spies in the sky. And if they hone in on you or a family member, you'll find out right quick. Real quick, you would know. You would know. It'd be like, oh, okay, someone just made me believe I'd be murdered in my apartment. No one really gets it. No one knows what. No one really has any recourse. Now I'm being harassed to death. And there's a million other layers that go into what I experienced, which other people have experienced. And it is in the unseen, invisible realm. So anyway, speaking of invisible, there's a group called Invisible Philadelphia, and they are the organizers of the Hands Off protest this Saturday, noon to 3, City Hall. I guess they're just going around City Hall, 1400 JFK, ish and so forth and so on. I don't know marching wise if they have a route, but they're saying it's supposed to be really big. They're organizing through a bunch of states in the US, and that's the big national day of anti-Trump Elon, stuff like that. Hands off is what it'll be called, like back off, you know, hands off our bodies. So it's a female oriented, I was about to say taxes. So but hands off our bodies is basically it. Noon to 3 on Saturday, the what, 5th? So I already know this lady here might be in the protest. So just a guess, because she's looking a little San Francisco, West Philly, walking up here in Center City. Don't always see that. So, especially since the pandemic, you know. Anyway. So getting rid of some of the, not my personal demons, but demons actually that exist in the sky, would be to not be too perfect on the organic train, get a little sloppy here and there, junk it up, and you know, make it seem like you're a regular average citizen, you know, who eats cheesesteaks all day long. If you eat cheesesteaks all day long, you're a zombie enough for them. And I won't eat a cheesesteak, but instead I'll get fake, you know, mock meat and sort of eat. Technically, the purest of the raw vegan foodies would never even get Morningstar, like vegetarian food. That's like considered a treat, gourmet, like, oops, you slipped, you know, you should just be eating fruits and vegetables, you know, have your dehydrator, and you can still heat up / cook certain recipes at 250 degrees or less, and that's still considered raw, vegan, organic. And I wanted to get, it's on my wish list, a dehydrator, because I'm dying to make Jesse Johnston, Prana Kitchen's recipe of, we have a lot of black cars all of a sudden, of ravioli. It was apple ravioli, beet ravioli, apple beet ravioli, I think it is. So it's a whole really yummy, sweet recipe. And you would use a dehydrator to heat it up so that it's not like a total cold, total al dente. Excuse me. And I keep forgetting, like, I have the dehydrator on there. I wish I had it. Technically, if I ever get to move from this apartment, which I'm hoping for, I would get one. Should I have a larger house or larger, you know, more spacious accommodations. Oh, we got a plum here. So I was in line, you know, at the grocery store, and this came up, the word plum. A lady next to me, you know, she put her plums on there and it said 3 black plums. Remove your black plums from the from the scale. Put them on the side, whatever, put them in the bagging area. And here we go. We actually have a plum jacket and gold in front of that. I got some applesauce, oddly enough, which is slightly unusual. It just sounded really good, and I think a neighbor might have been using it to cook, like pork chop, applesauce and pork chops and applesauce. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea for a change, because I eat the same. Yeah, just switch it up, and I'll get applesauce. And pineapple was a little pricey, and I don't like to get pineapple from Giant. I'd rather get it from freshly cut from Whole Foods, although I could cut my own pineapple. It's a little much, but we'll do that next. Sometimes I could just eat something as a meal.